Up everybody, today we're going to be talking about the Zarr. Now if you're wanting to build it, it's going to cost you 30,000 credits for the blueprint, an additional 30,000 credits to build it with 1800 kuva, 2400 alloy plate, 5500 salvage, and a fully built dragoon. Now if you just want to build it out or buy it outright, it's going to cost you 225 plat. I definitely don't recommend buying this because that's more than a deluxe skin for a Warframe, so that's pretty pricey. So I definitely recommend building this weapon. While kuva has become a lot easier to farm, and honestly this weapon is more of a specialty thing. It's not an all-around good weapon to use for every mission. It's more along the lines of a defensive weapon, but we'll get into that more as we talk about it. Alright, so since we got the building costs out of the way for the Zarr already, let's talk about base stats. It starts out at 15% crit chance, 2.5 crit multiplier, 20% status chance, 25 impact damage, and 175 blast damage. Now for this first build I'm going to show you, I'm going to be running crit chance, so I got it at 44.7% with a crit multiplier of 5.5, and then I have the status chance at 51.9. Impact damage is at 203, and then blast damage is at 3881. Now the reason I went with crit damage is because this gun just relies a whole lot on split chamber and its multi-shot capabilities just from default, because with barrage it has an initial explosion and then it does kind of like a cluster bomb, kind of like the coal star. So it's multiple explosives going off, and each of those explosives have a chance at hitting a crit. So crit chance is actually a lot higher than what the base stats show you. Also, with the flat cannon, it also has a multi-shot. It has a whole bunch of rounds that fly out, and you have a high chance of hitting a crit, no matter how low the crit is. Like, even though we're below 50% crit chance, we still have a pretty high chance of landing multiple crits with each shot. That's why I'm running this build, just to explain it right off the bat. So we got serration, split chamber, and heavy caliber. Then we have cryo rounds and thermite rounds to boost the blast damage. Then we have point strike for crit chance, vital sense for crit damage, and crit delay for some more crit chance. Now you're probably wondering why I didn't use bladed rounds or argon scope. Well, first off, argon scope is going to be pretty hard to hit a headshot with this weapon, so it just doesn't seem right to put on here. And then bladed rounds, you have to be aiming down sight for that to happen. For that bonus damage to occur, you have to be aiming down sights. And honestly, I don't aim down the sights with this weapon very often. I just point and click and hope for the best. The only time I ever really aim down sights is if I'm shooting from a distance and I want to see what direction the barrage cannon, like where the explosives bounce to. That's all I'm trying to see with that. So really I'm not ever aiming down sights. And then the second one, we have the status build. Now this one's not 100% complete. I still need the cold damage equivalent to thermite rounds, but I have not gotten that yet. So I'm showing you an incomplete build here. I apologize. I've been trying to get it forever and I still can't get it. So I've just accepted it, and maybe I'll get it after I make this video, because that's my luck with RNG. It'll give me everything once like I'm done deciding I need it. So we got serration, split chamber, and heavy caliber, and then we got cryo rounds again. Then we have wildfire, thermite rounds, hellfire, and then like I said before, we'd have the cold damage equivalent to thermite rounds. Now with this, our crit chance is at 15%, multipliers at 2.5, our fire rate's at 1.67, we got impact damage at 203, our status chance is at 51.9%, so damn near 52%, and then our blast damage is at 6,332. So it does quite a bit of damage, and I mean, the blast damage is just really nice. It makes them fly everywhere. It's quite comical. Now when people look at this weapon, they oftentimes try and compare it to the Toncore, but honestly this weapon is its completely own thing. For one thing, Toncore doesn't have an alt fire like this weapon does. Second of all, Toncore does puncture damage and this does impact. These are two completely different weapons. They're both great for defensive missions, things like that. So honestly, they're both really good. I would use this more for Corpus than I would Grineer, whereas Toncore, I would use that more for Grineer because it's got puncture damage and can puncture through the armor. This, Impact and Blast, it does wonders against... Impact, I know for a fact, does good against shields. So that's why I would use it for Corpus. Also, it's pretty decent against robotics. So that's my builds for this. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know what you guys are running. And if you think there's anything different that I could do to my builds, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Because this, in no way, shape, or form am I trying to claim as like the meta or anything like that. I'm just showing you what I got. And if you think of anything better, be sure to let me know. Till next time, guys, have a good one.